is the quiz. I want everybody to take it. Here's the first case, 4 cases. A 16-year-old in Texas, basically the same age and state of Karmelo, he gets hammered, consuming alcohol, consuming drugs. He does the whole thing. He gets behind the wheel of a vehicle. Of course, he gets into an accident. Now, here's the thing. He kills 4 people. He intentionally gets hammered and gets cooked, and then he takes 4 lives. Now, little law student of mine, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to determine how many years in prison you would give him. Ready? Go. And while you are considering your sentence, just know that in this case, the affluenza case, if you're old enough to remember, this young man, he took 4 lives. But how many years did the judge give him? Well, the judge gave him 10 years for taking 4 lives. 10 years. But here's the kicker. It wasn't 10 years of prison. The judge gave him 10 years of straight probation. This man took 4 lives and got a straight probationary sentence. Not 1 day in prison. Did you guess it? Did you guess 0 years? Now,
the legal system, in my view, often falls short of delivering true fairness or justice. After watching the video, it is striking to hear a practicing attorney outline various scenarios and strategies for navigating or even exploiting legal loopholes, particularly after causing serious harm or death. Rather than centering on accountability based on evidence, the discussion highlights how outcomes can hinge on procedural technicalities, jury perceptions, and external factors. Even when evidence appears clear, a defendant may still be viewed as the aggressor depending on the jury's composition and biases. Conversely, individuals who present differently, whether due to appearance, background, or resources, may be perceived as lacking intent, irrespective of the facts. The absence of jail time in a case involving the deaths of 4 people is particularly troubling and understandably provokes strong public outrage. This underscores a broader and difficult conversation that families should have: race and socioeconomic status, including access to quality legal representation and money, frequently influence case outcomes more than the strength of the evidence alone. These realities are uncomfortable to discuss, which is why they are often avoided, yet addressing them openly with children and within communities is essential for fostering awareness and informed civic engagement. We look at a profound breakdown in community accountability, a growing double standard in our legal system, and an urgent call for parents to step in because we are failing our youth. Across the country, public debates are revealing how quickly people show their true colors towards specific groups of people, choosing to point fingers instead of focusing on actual solutions. Observers note a dangerous trend where households are allowing social media and outside influences to raise children, leading to a reality where more young people feel the need to carry weapons into public establishments. While critics argue that carrying these items may technically be within the law, advocates warn that a prison sentence or the loss of a life changes a family forever, and a stolen life can never be recovered. Investigative analysis shows a critical need for harsh, realistic conversations on both sides of this issue. Parents need to seriously sit down and have real conversations in their households to teach their children how to de-escalate conflicts, respect others, and understand the importance of personal boundaries. When an individual is minding their business and not causing any harm or proposing any threat, youth must be taught to simply leave people alone, make them feel welcome, and treat others with basic respect. Furthermore, even if a child feels that a person does not belong in a specific place, parents must instruct them on how to communicate properly. Instead of taking matters into their own hands, children must learn to go find an adult authority figure to intervene and make sure everything is going to be all right. By embedding these critical lessons inside the home, children will properly display this respectful and peaceful behavior when they are out in public. A fundamental question remains: if an individual is minding their business, causing no harm, and breaking no laws, why can the public not leave them alone? Legal experts agree that no citizen has the right to instruct or remove another person from a public space unless they are an officially recognized authority figure. Yet, community members question why schools are allowing youth to police other youth, creating an environment of bias where peers refuse to take orders from peers. Reports indicate that at the center of this recent school tragedy, there was total lack of adult supervision. On a day under a severe storm warning, questions are being raised as to why responsible adults, teachers, or coaches were not present to de-escalate the situation, establish that the student belonged there, and protect the peace. Furthermore, data from similar cases across the timeline reveals a stark contrast in legal outcomes. While an individual may consciously believe they are acting in self-defense after being approached and physically shoved, a courtroom jury may see the situation entirely differently. Legal analysts warn that a jury can easily label a person as the aggressor simply for standing their ground and telling another individual not to touch them. Because the opposing party did not possess a physical weapon, juries frequently rule that deadly force was entirely unnecessary, completely disregarding the defendant's perspective of self-defense. For this reason, community leaders are advising households to utilize the legal process, document physical contact, and call the authorities to have the aggressor arrested, rather than taking measures into their own hands. This double standard extends directly to media representation and systemic bias. Records show that when certain groups commit a crime, the media frequently publishes clean, pretty photographs. However, when a Black child makes a tragic mistake, media outlets deliberately select hostile images, such as photos featuring a middle finger, to instantly label them a thug. Experts define a true thug as someone who completely rejects authority and always displaying criminal behavior. While the legal system continues to disproportionately hand down harsh sentences while granting leniency to others, communities must adapt to ensure they are not unfairly viewed as unhinged or aggressive. Ultimately, this tragedy has left one family permanently grieving a lost life and another child facing a lengthy 35-year prison sentence. While observers are holding back harsher words out of respect for the deceased, critics are challenging the narrative surrounding the victim's local status as a team captain and leader. Analysts conclude that true leadership is defined by respecting others, practicing de-escalation, and making people feel welcome in shared spaces. Families are urged to implement these lessons at home immediately to transform our youth into peacemakers and prevent further systemic devastation. We must also commit to teaching our children and young people an important lesson from this case. Deadly force should never be the default response when defending oneself. What we have witnessed is that a situation can be perceived entirely differently in the eyes of a jury, particularly when only one individual in a group was armed, while others were not. This serves as a powerful reminder. Even when we believe we are acting within the bounds of the law, a jury may interpret events very differently. Until next time, here on Daily Dose, keep having the hard conversations, stay safe, and let's work on bringing real balance and peace back to our communities.